Hello, welcome to Tiny Kitchen. I have a little surprise for you. We're actually going to do a little dedication to Julia Childs. That's why I have my pearls on today, because you know she always wore those. So let me grab an apron. She wasn't a big fan of wearing an apron up top, but she wore it down here. So I'm going to wear my little tie one. And I'm not going to make this from scratch as much as I'd like to, but I don't have the stuff and it's just a quick tiny kitchen. So we're actually going to make some French onion soup because you know Julia Childs is French. So we're making French onion soup. I'd make some French fries too, but I don't really have any. So we're going to make gratin. So that would be with the breadcrumbs and the cheese. First, what I'm going to do is open up my can of soup. I really don't use a can of soup often. I make it my own, but I have never made French onion soup before. I would like to, and when I do, I'll certainly share that with you. But if you want, you can look. I just recently shared, just going to put a little water to get the rest out. I shared Julia Child's recipe on when she made it. Now, of course, I wouldn't put the wine in it since I'm not drinking that anymore. But, all right, we're going to turn that on and let that cook. And what I did before I started taping was I just took some, I didn't have any real good crusty bread, but you want to use some really good crusty bread, like it shouldn't be limp. I used the ends and I toasted them, so we're going to put that in and then we're going to put our cheese on. So you can pretty much use any cheese you want. What I have here is some Swiss that I'm going to slice up, and I have a little thing of Gouda. I'm going to slice that down too, and then I think I have some provolone too. So I'm going to kind of use all three. You can pretty much use whatever cheese you like, Gruyere, mozzarella. I don't know if I'd use mozzarella, but I like provolone the best. So I'm probably going to use, well, let me set that up here. And then once the soup gets warm, we'll put it all together. So I put that on high so it would heat up. And then I don't really want to use my good bowls. Dishwasher, microwave. It doesn't say oven safe, so I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use this old coffee mug because I know these things are oven safe. But anyway, what I'll do is I'm going to put a little bit of this bread down in the bottom, and I'm going to put a little bit of cheese down on the bottom too, and then I'll pour my soup in over top, and then what we'll do is put more on top, and then we'll put it in the oven to melt and get really good. Let me get a cutting board here, and I'm going to get a knife, and I'm going to slice some of this Swiss cheese. Not a whole lot, but since my cup's kind of small. And then let me see if I can get into this Gouda. I love Gouda. Smoked Gouda, really good Gouda. This is the cheap stuff, but Gouda is good. I love to take these on picnics, though. Dave and I like to go on picnics, and these are great. You can just throw them in the picnic basket, not have to worry about too much. Do you like to take picnics? We love it. Pack some stuff, go adventure, hike, whatever. Now this is really soft cheese, so it's going to be a little bit hard to cut that. But I'll try to do the best I can. This soft cheese will melt quicker. I don't know if you've ever like melted cheese, but of course soft cheese melts a lot quicker than the harder stuff. Or you could even use some cheese that's shredded up too. I think if you watch her part 2 of her French onion soup, she actually has a couple different cheeses than I used actually, and she uses shredded and together. Okay, so my soup's hot. Let me just throw this in the trash. And we'll pour our soup in, put our cheese on, then we'll put it in the oven. Throw this back in the fridge. All right. Even if you don't like onions, you really need to try onion soup because it is delicious. And you know, my girlfriend made it homemade one time. Oh my gosh, her house smelled so good. Okay, so we have our French onion. Whoops, that kind of, get down there. And then we're going to put our bread on top. It's not necessarily the best spread, but whatever. Okay, and then we're going to put our cheese on. A little bit here, a little bit there. And then we're going to put it in the oven. See how beautiful that looks? That's a piece of wheat. I don't really like wheat anyway. So, okay. I turned the oven on to 425. I'm just going to put it in here. And we'll heat it up. Melt that cheese. And while that's happening... Did you ever see that Julia and Julia movie? It's about Julia Childs. It's really good. Watch it. I just love her. Okay, put this away. I think what I'll do is I'll actually put the oven on broil so that we can make this cheese melt a little quicker so you can see it. But in the meantime, I'm just going to clean up my kitchen while we're waiting for that. This was a really quick, tiny episode, huh? Yep, let me turn it up to broil. Whoops, I turned it off. We'll turn it up to broil. And let me just make sure we're good. I think Julia Childs was like famous for a lot of French stuff like bouillabaisse and coq au vin, and I'm trying to think of what else. Like, I love that Saturday Night Live episode where Dan Aykroyd or one of them, he's pretending to be Julia Child and he's like cutting the chicken and he cuts his finger and like blood flies everywhere. It's hysterical. YouTube that because it's funny. Of course, you have to have a Saturday Night Live like for that silliness. So, let me check on the cheese. Well, I smell that Gouda melting. I don't really need this, so I think I'll give Lily a little piece of this, and then I think I'm going to toss it because I don't really want wheat. I like to use Italian, like old Italian or French. Well, French, I should use French. But that's really good. But just don't use, like if you get a long thing of bread and you can hold it up like a sword, that's good. But if you hold that up and it wilts, forget it. Don't use that because that's not good. You can even use croutons too. Croutons are good. And like I said, any cheese you want, but I love French onion soup. I can remember when I lived in Atlantic City and sometimes people would order French onion soup when I worked in room service and we would pad the check and then make an extra one. Having the kitchen make an extra one and then eat it in the elevator on the way up. Yeah, so I guess they can't fire me now if I say that, but yep. My first husband, Frank, the kid's dad, he loved French onion soup. He would always do that in room service. Yeah, memories. Maybe that's why I like French onion soup so much. All right, well, it's melting down over there. What I will do is take the camera over and show that. I hope you guys are all ready for Christmas. I'm looking at my tree and it's really pretty. All right, let me get the camera and I'll show you the French onion soup. Oh, hey, there's Lily. What's going on? She's waiting for something to drop, of course. Wait, let me get my oven light. Oh, yeah. It needs to get brown on top. It's not really brown, so it needs to get brown on top, and then I'm going to eat it, and... Oh, there's Lily again. All right, well, bon appetit.